So just by way of preamble to the resolution, I'm just going to talk about the week of climate protests that we just finished, led by children, accompanied by adults. And Greta Thunberg, the Swedish climate activist who began Futures for Friday movement by walking out of her classroom on strike, she started about a year ago, inspired an estimated 6 to 8 million people to participate in this strike that took place on September 20th, the global climate strike. She urges us, the older generation, to first listen to what climate scientists are saying. That global greenhouse gas emissions must be cut nearly in half by 2030 and reach net zero by 2050 to hold average global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius, which is 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit, compared to pre-industrial levels. So we listen to climate scientists and then we take serious action. And I couldn't agree more, and it was the impetus behind this resolution. We've come here as Solar Saints before, Doug and I, so you're familiar with that project, that initiative. So this initiative is focused on carbon emissions, and we're recommending that churches in the Episcopal Church of New Hampshire cut their carbon emissions by 25% by 25 and 50% by 2035. So I just read Greta Thunberg's, or the climate scientists' recommendation, and we're not quite to where they are, but not as ambitious, but hopefully this is a doable thing. So the intent of this resolution is for to reduce the carbon footprints of parishes throughout the Episcopal Church of New Hampshire. So be it resolved that all parishes of the Episcopal Church of New Hampshire will commit themselves to develop and implement measurable goals to achieve significant carbon reduction of their carbon footprints. Buttoning up leaky buildings, and doing things, conservation, energy efficiency, renewable energy, all different ways to reduce the amount of fossil fuels that we use. We all know that burning fossil fuels emits the carbon emissions, so that's our goal. There is help for this. Be it resolved that Solar Saints be identified as an initiative of the Earth Care Commission, of which I am a member, as well as Gretchen here tonight, to assist parishes with a defined mission to assist churches within the state to reduce their carbon footprints. And then last but not least, the Solar Saints will develop a strategic plan that will lay out how we are going to achieve these targeted goals. That is 25% by 2030, 25% by 2025, which is 5 years. It's pretty ambitious, and 50% by 2035. I must say we already have 3 churches that have submitted sustainability grants for doing exactly that. So, this is, I don't know if we're trying to catch up to them or lead the way. But anyway, that's very heartening to have that. So the rationale is sort of what I stated in the preamble, that the burning of fossil fuel affects not only environment, it affects our health, social structure, our economic and political lives. It has the greatest effect on those that are least responsible. And so that there's environmental justice is also a theme around reducing our carbon emissions. The great thing about that is that we're a big producer of carbon emissions, but if we can lower our carbon footprint, it's going to help people around the world because we all share the same atmosphere.
What are we doing about China?
Right, so...
I mean, they're the biggest greenhouse gas.
I don't know, India's pretty good.
Well, China is
I think
voted
we're
number one, so what are we doing about that?
Yes,
Yeah, we could be.
right.
We just have to do our part.
We have to be responsible for what we do.
Right, and that's exactly what it says. The next piece here is, so before we're capable of asking for change in others, we need to be the change first. I think a great Episcopalian named Mahatma Gandhi first said that. So Solar Saints, with the guidance of the Earth Care Commission, will develop and implement the strategic plan that will achieve the target reduction goals. Financial assistance will be available through portals that already exist, the Diocesan Advance Fund, which has low-interest loans, and the sustainability grants. So there's no new money requested in this particular resolution. The strategic plan will focus on 3 different areas: energy efficiency, and then the transition of energy functions from 100% fossil fuels, such as oil and propane, to electric energy, electricity, which is a much cleaner form of energy.
If it's generated by
Yeah,
clean
depending on how
sources,
it's produced.
coal electricity is
Right.
pretty dirty.
Right, coal electricity is very dirty, but in New Hampshire, I believe it's, and I can't remember which one it is, but the mix is like 40-60%, so 40, I can't remember which one it is, but the cleaner energy, because our primary source of energy, quite honestly, is nuclear energy in the state, which is
The issue as to how clean and nuclear is.
It-
Carbon-wise, it's
Carbon-wise,
clean,
it's
but-
very clean, yes. It has other issues, yeah. But providing your heat and cooling through electricity is a cleaner source of energy than coal or propane. So anyway, I just wanted to add, we have been talking about maybe the diocese having its own solar array that could contribute into the grid some renewable energy, because not every church, obviously, is a good candidate for renewable energy. That's the third area that we would focus on. But there's some policy work to be done too, because right now the limit for net metering is 1 megawatt, and that's one of the bills that Governor Sununu vetoed, trying to raise that limit to 5 megawatts to encourage more renewable energy in the state. We're not going to be addressing that directly, but I certainly encourage you to talk to your representatives about that, and the governor too, if that's something that you'd like to do. So churches are encouraged, to create a benchmark where they are as far as their energy use now, and be able to measure and then monitor that. If you were to apply for funds, we would ask for an energy audit so that we know, that there's a good plan in place that makes sense, that the return on investment is a good one, so to speak. And that energy audit will show you where the need is the greatest.
You identified any sources for that yet?
We have not. Yeah, but yes. So one of the things we think will be a big help is for us to be able to vet some of the energy auditors in the state, and perhaps do some aggregation.
Great.
So that if we use the same vendor, they might give us a reduced cost for different for services to different churches. All right, so.
Well, I would add one more comment. I just find it interesting, and now that I'm in my 70s, I see all these young activists that are the age of my grandchildren, actively hitting the streets, actively protest, whether it's, climate change, whether it's guns, whatever the issue is, they're a lot more active and a lot more vocal. And I think it's because they feel like nothing's getting done. And it's certainly our generation that had a responsibility.
They're in harm's way, absolutely.
Yeah, they're the ones that are going to feel the effects long after we're gone. So it's kind of an interesting position we're in. And so, I guess, in my mind, a resolution like this is your chance to either say I agree or don't agree for our generation and for your congregation or whatever. I think it's important. I really do.